Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of using ChatGPT to improve your GCSE English language skills. Although this week we are going to be focusing a bit more on how GCSE English literature skills can transfer across, and very interestingly, how we can start to predict what might come up in any of your exams over the next few weeks. So let's get started here. So we're starting a bit differently this time, as you probably noticed. We're starting with an interesting prompt which utilizes ChatGPT's relatively new search function, which enables it to trawl the web faster than any human alive. So what I've asked it is, as I said, looking at the specs for both AQA and Edexcel GCSE English Literature Poetry over the last 5 years, what have been the questions that for unseen poetry so far? So the objective with this prompt here is to get it to go read all those exams and go, okay, here are the 5 questions it's asked. And it's done a pretty good job. It's done AQAs for me. Talks it through here, which is quite useful. And then I've said, what themes have been done over the last 5 years for these questions? And what it does now is absolutely magical. It tells you all the types of themes over the last 5 years that AQA and Edexcel have used. And why I've asked this is because you're unlikely to get the same theme twice, okay? Which is proven even by this 5-year search here. So what you can then do is extrapolate the question that might be coming up for unseen poetry, because a lot of people get anxious about unseen poetry because, of course, it's very hard to revise for. So let's give ourselves every advantage possible and try and have a guess at what it might be, and then practice with those guesses. So it's given us a series of prompts, and go and check these yourselves as well. Make sure they line up with what you're doing. And a quick note as well, if you know your exam board is OCR or Educast, you can just change the name in the prompt and make that work for you. So as we move forward a little bit, it gives you a few techniques and tips. And I've said, so if we can try predicting, assuming there are used themes in the last 5 years, analyze what the likely theme is to study. And it's given us an index of what's been done and the news cycle right here. Okay, so it's given us the most likely themes possible based on extrapolation. Your mileage may vary, it might not be any of these, but it's fairly well sourced, and it does a lot of the work for you. So after that, it tried to give me a bunch of teaching advice, so I went into our usual task, include, don't include context prompt, and I've said, suggest 2 poems available to read open source that have one of the themes you suggested. Break down both poems into sections for me to read, prioritizing teaching me analytical extraction, which of course is something that will help for GCSE language, so I can see what techniques and ideas that you've extracted that I can use as a baseline for my own work. Again, trying to find a piece of work that's already at grade 9, then looking about how you can remodel yours to resemble that is a great revision skill, because how can you make something great unless you've seen something great to begin with? As for the do include, a great thing examiners like to see is the idea of a counter narrative. You second guessing your own analytical style and maybe suggesting other things. Looking at different ways to interpret the themes, direct quotes. When you explore the techniques used, these are highlighted in bold. And I like saying that because then it's easy to see. And giving brief explainers, and then show extensions to the responses so you can get a higher than your grade 5. I said don't include any American English, don't want that, or super complex terminology at the start. You've got to build up. And as for the context, I've said I'm revising for unseen poetry, but also need to sharpen up analytical skills for the language paper. So while your focus is on 99% on poetry, some transferable skills will be good for me. And what it's done is it links you a full poem. It doesn't doesn't paste it out, and then breaks it down to several sections to talk about language and structure, alternate interpretations. Fantastic stuff. Gives you a second poem, again linking straight there, and gives you a few tips to look at as well. So yeah, that's really useful. So what I've said next is, can you show me what a successful paragraph would look like using the technique and topic evidence, answer, and explore symbolism method instead. So I call it the tease method, which is quite useful if you don't use the method already. So it says, absolutely, here's your method. Bang. There you are. And if I saw that come up on my desk, I'd give it a big tick. So there you go. So it's a short one today, but it's worth doing. Now, if you are studying physics, if you are studying chemistry, if you are studying geography, history, if you've got any exams coming up that are that have similar questions every single year, you can use this method to predict what might come up. Never perfect, a prediction's a prediction, but why would you not? Why would you not try and give yourself the most advantage possible? So I'll put these prompts down in the video description below. If anyone does get to try these out on any other exam board or any other topic, let us know how you get on. And lastly, and as always, learn to use AI, or AI will learn to use you. And best of luck in your exams coming up soon.